Now, while Iran was certainly one of the big headlines this week, the other big headline was this debate over the religious freedom law in Indiana and Arkansas. Ruth, how would you sort of characterize what happened this week? I mean, we had two Republican governors who essentially backed down and revised laws in the face of this very strong opposition and criticism.
It was a remarkable week, and I think I would say what we're seeing here with these religious freedom laws in the various states, and Sarah and others have a lot of work on their hands ahead, but it's really the last gasp of the culture wars. No longer are we going to be seeing Republican candidates and Republican strategists affirmatively putting anti-gay measures on the ballot in order to turn out their votes at the expense of Democrats. Rather, both on the business end, because corporations are with the program of anti-discrimination, and on the demographic end, because young voters, Republican and Democrats, also will not tolerate this. Those who want to wage the culture wars are on the losing end of the battle.
I mean, David, this is going to be, we're going to have a Supreme Court decision on same-sex marriage. This debate is not over.
No, and the Supreme Court's final judgment, whether it is constitutionally protected for gays to marry, will significantly change the debate. I thought what was poignant this week was that you saw the Republican Party and the Republican presidential candidates caught between where their base is, feeling passionately, we should not be forced to do things that we religiously don't believe in. And that's a popular cause. You heard Rick Santorum say, really, he'd like to see even more attention to that, coming up against the reality that the Republican Party today, like the country, increasingly accepts gay marriage. Majorities of white mainstream Protestants, of white Catholics, of Hispanic Catholics, majorities of all of those support gay marriage. So the party is stuck between its base and where the country is. We saw that this week. We saw Jeb Bush rush to be, right there with Mike Pence, and then all of a sudden Jeb Bush is left out there all alone, wondering, gee, maybe I shouldn't have done that quite so quickly.
Yeah. I want to quickly disagree with one thing that my smart colleague David said, because I actually think that the Supreme Court decision, bizarrely, who would have thought we wouldn't be on tenterhooks about it? I think we know which way the Supreme Court is going. I don't think it's going to change the terms of the debate, because the country is already where the majority of it, where the Supreme Court, I think, is going to turn out, which is in favor of same-sex marriage. And so the next frontier and the platinum lining of this debate is to put in place the anti-discrimination laws that most people think are already there to protect gay.
But once you have that decision, then you just say to Mike Pence, this is unconstitutional.
Right.
And you can't quite say that today.
The debate will continue. All right, thank you all. Coming up next, a look at the Final Four. Wasn't that fun last night?
It was
college
great. Go
basketball
Wisconsin!
top prize.